Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. As I'm working from home, I am just going through piles of mail, both virtual as well as paper format. So today I just wanted to go over a specific letter I've received in the mail. I've actually had a couple of clients ask me about it as well as they've received it. And it has to do with your either corporation or LLC annual report. And before I keep going, I just have to make a disclaimer that I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice. This is general information and it pertains to the state of North Carolina. So if you're somewhere else, you might have different things going on. But here in North Carolina, if you have an LLC or a corporation, it is on a public database with the Secretary of State. So there are some really smart companies out there who are utilizing this database and sending out letters essentially soliciting filing your annual report for you. Now, before I go any further, I want to say that in North Carolina, you do have to file an annual report with the Secretary of State, and there's a fee that the Secretary of State charges. Then, depending on who does it for you, whether it's your attorney, you yourself, your accountant, or a third party, there may be additional fees involved. So just know that there is money involved for the Secretary of State. There is a requirement to file an annual report, and then there is solicitations going around for filing those for you. So I just want to show you the letter I received, how you can sniff out what a legit letter looks like, or what a notice from the North Carolina Secretary of State looks like, as well as what some of these solicitations look like. And then at the end of this video, I'm also going to link to a video I did last year on this exact same topic that has direct instructions on how to actually file your annual report with the Secretary of State. So before I keep going, do me a favor, hit the like button, also share this with any friends you have. I'm sure everybody's looking for more YouTube videos to watch and some entertainment. So do me a favor and do that. All right.
Now that obviously wasn't the most professional video you've seen me do, but bear with me here. So this is a letter that I received, and on the envelope itself, there's a few things I've highlighted. The first is the company it's coming from is some company named AACS. And they're using a mailbox up in Raleigh, which is where the Secretary of State is. So it looks legit, important, open immediately. However, if we go over here, what we see is it's a non-government agency. So this right here tells us this is a private company sending this. And then they try to scare us saying, warning, there's a fine if anybody interferes or obstructs with delivery of this letter. Great. So now, we're very confused. There's a Raleigh address, there's a warning, but then we also see that it's a non-government agency. So this is the envelope it comes in. And now let's look at the letter. Now I've put some pieces of paper on here for privacy purposes. And what you'll see is up here, again, it says Annual Report Services out of Raleigh, 2020 Annual Report Filing Services. Please respond by 3/31, and there's an amount due. And then it gives us some other information, including a reference ID. And now, in terms of the list prices here, this particular letter, this is for a corporation. And so they got the right amount up here where it says State of North Carolina Annual Report Fee. It is $22. And then the second line, it says Annual Report Filing Service Fee. So they don't make this very clear, at least not here, whether that fee is part of the Secretary of State or if it's their fee. It is their fee, so they're charging you $85 to file your annual report, and they're calling it a service fee. And then if you are behind, and I'll show you what a notice of grounds for termination postcard looks like. If you have to reinstate your corporation or LLC, there is a one-time $100 fee, and this reinstatement fee does go to the Secretary of State. So this particular corporation is actually active. They just need to file their annual report. And so this company will do it for $85, and that's why they are soliciting $107. And so we keep going down here, and what we find out if we keep reading, it says signature required, make checks payable to annual report services. So you're not making the check payable to North Carolina Secretary of State, you're making it payable to this company, and then out of this $107, they're going to spend $22 to file your report. And then in the fine print at the bottom, let's see here, it says Annual Report Services is a non-government service company that assists business entities in being compliant. So again, this letter, even though it looks very legit, and the envelope it came in looks pretty legit, they're just a third-party service provider soliciting business. And then I also took a look at the return envelope that they provided, and was really interesting is even though on the letter and the original envelope it was a Raleigh address, they want you to mail your check down to Hollywood, Florida, which is where they are. So again, this also tells us that this is a solicitation. Now, I want to show you a couple other things that are actually from the Secretary of State. This comes out, and this is an old one from last year, but they do this every year. If you have not filed your annual report by April 15th, sometime in the summer, and this one was dated July 24th, sometimes in the summer, the Secretary of State will send you this notice of grounds for administrative dissolution. And this is a postcard. And so this is very legit. And this gives you an actual email address with a sosnc.gov email address. This is their actual phone number. And if you have some questions or need some help, they actually even do YouTube videos as well on helping you get through the process. So this, if you get this note card, you got to act. It's your notice from the state that your annual report is due. And then if you don't act on it, what you will get is a letter from the Secretary of State. And this is the envelope. And it actually comes from the Secretary of State. And it's their actual address up in Raleigh. And then what this letter looks like is like this. And it goes notice to registered agent, State of North Carolina, Certificate of Administrative Dissolution. So if you don't file your annual report, you will get one of these letters. And essentially the Secretary of State has dissolved your LLC or your corporation. And now, in case you want to get it reinstated, you need to file the actual annual report plus that $100 reinstatement fee. So that was that $100 over here, down here, reinstatement fee once inactive. That's what this $100 was about. So hopefully this helps you guys through this maze of annual report letters. Again, this pertains to North Carolina. South Carolina has a different process. I believe Virginia has a similar process to North Carolina. And every other state has different ways of handling this. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. Let me know how I can help you. You can go on the Secretary of State's website, get some great information there, but make sure to do this. Until next time.